Thank you. Let's call the meeting to order at 4 p.m. Let the record reflect that all committee members are present. I may have a motion for the October 10th minutes.
So moved.
Proper motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Any public comment at this time? All right. If we have anyone that arrives, we will give them the floor. So we are to discussion action item B, the legislative analysis vacancy position. So had several different candidates that came and spoke, and we interviewed all of them. For a total, I think, of 6, because we had 2 that did not show. And so now we are to decide whether we want to continue interviewing or we set on those candidates that we were able to hear from over the course of the time. I will open the discussion up to the committee. I would not be opposed to solidifying your top 2. We can talk through whether we want to have a second interview if it's necessary, kind of talk through the conversation from Friday. I know I was absent, but I was able to review the meeting as well. So I will open it up to the committee.
Look at me.
I suppose I could start off by saying that I would somewhat defer to the 3 of you all, since you all for sure are going to be here next year, right? Yep. Nobody's up for election unless you resign or get kicked off, and I for sure will not be. I still have good things to say about most of the people we interviewed. I don't know if it was because he was last, but Luke Bingham still sticks out as I'm trying to find what would be wrong with him more likely than what's right. Because it seems like a lot of things are good, like his background experience, the way he came here and answered the questions, the extra materials he provided. Again, not to take away from any of the other candidates, because I think they did well also, but that's why I'll defer for the most part. But I would support voting if we can, but that's just the first thought today.
So I'll piggyback on Councilmember Jackson on this. I spent the weekend thinking about all of the interviews that we did, and I have to agree that Luke stood out to me in some of the things that were said. I think specifically the focus on the fact that he understood how legislation and the stakeholders, citizens, all work together. And I thought his questions at the end for us were right on the nose for what we're looking for in this position. Not only that, but I think that this is his actual passion to do things like this. So, I mean, if, I'm only one of 4, but I would feel comfortable moving ahead with Luke Bingham.
So when we left our most recent meeting, I had in mind 3 candidates that sort of rose above the rest that we had interviewed. And those candidates were Mead, Arreguín, and Bingaman. And also after going back, reviewing some of my notes on responses, reviewing up, I think they all have the type of background and experience that we're looking for. I will say Bingaman did rise above the other candidates for me in terms of his responses. They were thorough. The questions he asked, I agree, were very good. And he came incredibly prepared. He did submit a writing sample. He, others did as well. But his documents were so organized, and he displayed a clear ability to come into a role like this and be able to hit the ground running in terms of what we I understand we're still feeling this out, but in terms of what I think, what I certainly may want to see in a legislative analyst, I do think that he is my preferred candidate as well.
After review, I would agree with all of you. I would say that it was for me, Mr. Bingaman and Mr. Reed. The difference between the two for me is it was more of a community-driven, resident-driven responses that I could appreciate with Mr. Bingaman. I loved a lot of his responses regarding how he views policy and how it was navigated based off of the voice of our residents. And so it stood out more that even through his examples, he mentions one of the examples with a hypothesis goal that he shared, it was all resonated to and referred back to people and how to, one of the questions regarding how do you explain policy to a non-policy driven audience. I thought it covered a lot when bringing it back to the basics per se and meeting people where they're at. And so I appreciated the fact that he was very well-rounded. It does show that he has a lot of experience in the role itself. I think it'll be nice to create this role along with someone who has the initial experience as well and has played this role for several years. So for me, I would not be opposed to making a decision to offer a position to our final candidate from Friday's committee to pending background check and so forth and acceptance.
So I would make a motion to accept Luke Bingaman as our selection for the vacancy of legislative analyst.
A proper motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Just for the record, you want to talk about for HR's benefit, salary, compensation, start date. Maybe they could explain to you exactly now that will be directing them how long it's going to take for our next council meeting is the 27th. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind.
So, Ms. McKitty or Ms. O'Leary, could you speak to the process once we've decided that we want this particular candidate, contacting that candidate, pay compensation? Do we start at the lower end of the spectrum? Do we go based off of what was requested in the application and time frame, background check, and so forth? What that process looks like?
Generally speaking, you all would give an offer. I would give them a conditional offer, and they can either counter that offer or accept or decline. And at that point, I'll communicate that information to you all. Once he has accepted the position, then we will start our background process, making sure that he clears our room. Okay, we normally do a pre-employment physical before to see if that's something we need to do as well. So it's fingerprints.
Well, we do like a standard background check, and so we'll look at past practice to see exactly what was done.
Okay.
Then as far as the start date, we just whatever is mutually agreed upon between the two parties.
So would it be premature to have a start date by the beginning of November?
No, not necessarily. I'm assuming that he's available. I'm not sure if he has a current employer.
Weeks notice?
So depending on that, then if he's open, then he'd have to start by that time. If not, I can let you know if he's an employer.
Could you tell us, just so we can, because I don't have it in front of me, what we posted as a salary range for that position?
Yes, it was up to 65,000. The top was 65,000. I want to say it was around 46, 65,000 was the top. And I can see.
Do we have his application of his suggested rate now?
He would have been, if he was the last interview, so I don't know if that's how you have them in order.
He has 55,000 as a desired salary.
So if we meet him at his desired salary and have room for increase, since the max was at 65, would this body be opposed to starting at what his desired request was for salary?
We need to make a motion for that. Craig?
If you want that to be the final determination, if you want that to be the directive given, yes.
So
But if
I
you want
would,
to discuss it,
I don't know, it's just a little discussion. So I understand his desired is 55, good for him. It is full-time job, right?
Mhm.
And it doesn't require, education and training experience, but it kind of does to actually get the job, which he does have. And it seems like we like him enough and it seems like he's gonna do a good job. I guess my thing would be, I don't know, why not put it up a little bit more? Because who knows, maybe he starts for 55 and then he does so good and then the mayor's office or somebody decides they want him and they're like,
Competitive.
yeah, we want to be as competitive as possible, but oh yeah, because I mean, I think eventually 65 is going to become, how inflation goes, is going to eventually become like obsolete too.
Councilperson Kelly Monaco.
Thank you. So I think that I would be comfortable if his requested salary was 55, I would be comfortable offering 57 or 58 in order to be competitive, but not going so high that there is, typically, raises, and I guess maybe that's a question for HR in this position. Like, how is there an annual percentage raise? How does that work here within
Yeah,
the city?
so generally council follows what 214.
Mhm.
does.
Yep. Okay.
And I think I can't speak to what the contract percentage was, but
We can get you that. We have.
So I guess my opinion is I would like to be competitive, but I'm also looking for longevity from whomever may come into this role. So whether that means a few years or several years, I would like some, this position to be sustained. So I think offering more than the requested salary is appreciated by candidates, and it shows interest on our end to bring them in, and that it just shows how much we would like to have them here with us in this office. So I guess my suggestion would be 57,000, which is a few thousand above his requested salary.
Any other discussion with 57?
Councilmember Jackson, what was your suggestion?
I don't want to, how does it go? Bet against ourselves or anything? But I don't know. I mean, I was thinking more like 60 or 59. It's so close. And like the actual
It is.
paycheck, once you do the taxes,
Right.
is like, he might be getting $40 more every 2 weeks. But I do agree that it's, to put some number above his desired, because one, his desired is humble, and two, we want him. But three, our ceiling is 65. So it's kind of confusing. But I'm good with anything above 55, I guess.
I mean, I would be comfortable with 60. A lot of that reason is it's about $44,000 right now in Michigan just to cover your basic needs. And so I would think with someone that has the talent like he does, we would want to incentivize him now, early, to stick around. We've lost a lot of staff due to, I think, money issues. I would feel comfortable at 60. That leaves us at $5,000 that we have worked out with the money the mayor had given us, in a rotating yearly basis if we hired positions. I also think that, the fact that he's currently getting his master's degree, you know, does speak to, I think, probably deserving of that wage. I think also him mentioning his can-do attitude, like, do you want me to go out and, suggest things? I have a feeling that we're not gonna have to sit here and
Right.
ride this person
He
to
was
do.
self-driven.
Correct. I truly believe he'll find work to do, and make really good suggestions. On top of, maybe working on something and he finds this other thing.
Mhm.
So I would be comfortable with 60, for this particular candidate.
I'm okay with, presenting more than what his desired amount is. I'm comfortable with having that wiggle room of the $5,000 based off of the lot of funding that was appropriated for us. So 60,000 for our potential legislative analysis.
So then I would move 60,000.
That's the proper motion. All in favor?
I,
Opposed? 60 it is.
And just remember too, you're already 4 months into the fiscal year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the funding for his position started July 1st.
Yeah.
So,
There's a 2% wage increase for 214. I think it's effective January 1,
Okay.
okay.
or first full pay period following January 1.
Thank you.
2%.
Mhm. So if there is a 2 weeks notice that needs to be provided, that takes us to 2 weeks from now is the 29th of
well, the 27th, the resolution could go to council.
May.
And then if you wanted to start at the start of the week, you could do November, or a Monday, it'd be November 3rd.
Is that the start of the pay period?
November 3rd.
November 3rd.
I think it'd probably be best to start him at the beginning of a pay period.
I don't know how they look at it, because I think we go Saturday to Saturday, so it would be November 1st would be the start, because we get paid the 14th. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, but if you get-
On the
if you get paid on
14th,
the 14th and the pay period closes.
oh yeah, it would be October. Start period would be October 25th.
Right, so
One.
that won't be, so the
Yeah,
council will meet, the first pay period beginning after the council meeting is November 10th.
well, the 10th is a Monday though, that's, I'm waiting to see what they suggest, because
Yeah.
how's that look when on their hiring, if they come in on the 10th, but the pay period started the 8th?
We can get them. It doesn't, we can get them in.
That's the
Oh.
first, that's the first day of work. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right,
Yeah. No,
So-
because my start date at the state was a Sunday.
Yeah.
but Yeah,
yeah, okay.
So the first start date could be the 10th.
No.
Or
the
the
8th.
8th, excuse me.
That's a Saturday. right?
Saturday.
That's when the pay period would start,
Yeah,
but we would
right.
we would orient.
We could do the
Would be on
10th.
the 10th.
Okay, so do you want that in the
Yes.
resolution?
With a start date on November 10th.
Great, so you want the response prior to your meeting though, right? Or you-
Prior to the 27th.
Is that what you're?
I was gonna say, so you're gonna extend a conditional offer prior to council voting on it? Or after council votes on it?
Prior.
Prior.
And so then pending review, pending council approval with a provisional start date of November 10th. I would just include in your resolution language, November 10th or whatever earliest date is possible for the candidate and background clearing, just because
Yes.
having been involved in the hiring process myself many times, something always takes a little bit longer.
Also depends on how quickly the person
Yeah.
does the forms and gets all the things that they need to get done completed. So that's kind of what we're working with.
Sending the candidate. Okay. Okay. All right. So leave the,
Do
any
you want a
other,
motion on the start date then?
oh, yes, we need a motion on that.
So I would move the start date November 8th pending the candidate. Is that the language that we used?
Are we saying Monday the 10th?
Well, I mean, the first day of work would be the 10th.
Okay, so we'll do the 10th, because that'd be
Okay.
the first work date. or earliest date possible for candidate and vetting of HR.
I move that.
All right, proper motion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. All right, motion for the start date, compensation, okay. Anything else for discussion B? All right, we're moving on to discussion action item C, the internal auditor vacancy. We received a total so far of 3 applicants for our internal auditor vacancy. So we have a few different options that we could take this. We could keep the application or the position open and just wait to get more candidates. Or we could schedule a date to interview the 3 candidates and still keep the option of the position open. Or maybe just the 2 options. Yeah. So personally, I think we could set a date to interview the 3 candidates, but still keeping the application or the position open on our website.
I think that's probably the best route to go.
Any other discussion from the,
Oh, calendar question, I suppose.
yes. We just need the 1 date for the 3 applicants.
How soon do we want to do this?
I can say, having scanned through the applications, not to name anybody, but there's at least one person who seems like their qualifications could be appropriate. So no reason to put it off too long.
Now I can say next week, you guys, have 1 committee meeting, DNP,
Thursday, I'm wide open.
23rd.
The 23rd.
Yes.
Thursday afternoon, I'm available with no conflicts.
Oof, Thursday morning is better for me.
What about, Monday or Tuesday?
I'm gonna be out of town Monday.
Okay. Tuesday or Wednesday, DNP meets at 3:30.
We'll
We
be
could
here.
do Wednesday afternoon. All of Wednesday afternoon for the 3.
Is Ryan in our 9:30 virtual on Tuesday? For HR?
Yeah.
Yes, that's on my schedule.
They're looking at the 22nd.
October
Or-
2nd.
22nd.
I have a
Wednesday.
doctor's appointment at 11, but I'm open other than development and planning at 3:30.
So that, if
Capital Area Michigan works at 3:30 on the 22nd.
Board meeting that afternoon. So
21st, Tuesday.
I can do the 22nd in the morning. But you
I
said you
can, I have a
appointment.
doctor's
Okay.
appointment.
Unless you started at 8.
Or
That's not- I could have told you that.
No, 8 o'clock, okay. What about Monday? Oh, no, you're out Monday. Okay.
the 24th. It's a Friday, but
I will be.
Sherry's off.
Oh, that doesn't
Right,
mean
that's-
anything. That doesn't mean anything. Following week.
All right.
Following week, the only thing that week is, well, Monday, so that would be out of the question, just so you wanted to come in early on that day. Public safety at 4 o'clock on the 28th, so anything before that. Or Wednesday's wide open, Thursday.
Wednesday's good.
Wednesday. sounds
29th?
good.
Mm-hmm.
How's Wednesday for everybody else, the 29th?
Wednesday works.
Oh,
Look at that computer. Why does it kill me? Look at that. We're using little tiny things. I can barely read it.
What time on the 29th?
You want to get it through mornings? Is morning good work for everyone?
I have at 8:30. That should. I have some at 8:30, but that shouldn't be too long.
are you close? Okay.
I can do whatever time on Wednesday, and I'll even wake up early for you guys.
Oh, wow.
I have
That's a treat.
Wednesday completely open, so
If you did a 10, 11, and a 12, you'd be done by 1.
I'm good with that.
Sounds good. Sold. Share.
No, I said, no, I was saying, yes, that works. I said that works.
So the
Okay.
29th.
Yes, from 10 to 1.
Wanna interview?
You know, that could, we could all wear a
Wanna
costume
Yep, I'll interview all three.
on Halloween, like for my Batman suit.
Oh,
Is
scare
that
them.
intimidating?
That would scare them.
Well, they'll know it's Halloween. Oh, he's cool.
All right, so we have the 3 candidates for internal auditor vacancy scheduled for the 29th, a 10, 11, and a noon schedule. And then at that particular time, we can have some discussion if necessary, or if we get additional candidates. Councilmember Jackson.
Sorry. Can we do 10, 10:45,
Ah, yes,
30, 12:15?
so that we don't have the,
Does the system let you do that, like 45-minute interviews, or is it just top of the hour? Okay. So 10, 10:45, 11:30. Right?
Mhm.
Okay.
if we receive any additional candidates, we can set a different date for those individuals if necessary. And then you got, HR will keep us abreast if we get any cancellations as well.
And I'll block off on your calendar 10 to 12:30. He's done with the other one, but that way, if you wanted to make a decision, you had that extra time blocked off on your calendar.
Perfect. All right, any other discussion regarding the internal auditor vacancy? Any other business? All right, we are adjourned at 26. Thank you.